Hi guys, it is Mrs. Nguyen again, and I'm here to talk to you about session 3, writing to discover what a character really wants. So today we're going to dive even deeper into our character analysis, and we are going to continue to work with our character Squeaky from Raymond's Run. Before we get started though, you're going to need a couple materials with you this time. So go grab your writing folder. Hopefully it's not messed up like mine is. Go grab a pencil and go grab a sticky note or two. If you have access to a printer, it would be really cool if you could go print out a copy of our new table of contents. I've already shared it with you on Google Classroom. It just says writing folder literary/argument writing unit. If you do not have access to a printer and that's not easy for you to do, totally fine, then just grab a piece of binder paper and just create a table of contents, okay? Go ahead and pause this while you go and grab those items. Okay, so now that you're back, let's get started with trying to figure out what a character really wants. The teaching point today is that when literary essayists are writing about characters, one way they make their ideas more powerful is looking beyond the obvious details to figure out what motivates them, to figure out what the character really wants from other people and from life. Okay, so one example I have from real life is my aunt. She loves sporty cars. Like, she just always wants to be seen cruising around town in a sporty car, apparently. So her first car that she purchased was like a 1992 Mazda Miata. And I was like, okay, sure. She just was always in it. And then she was kind of like in the market to buy a car again recently, and she went and bought a 2019 like red convertible Miata. And I was like, okay, she's buying like another Miata, that's cool. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, why is she so into these sports cars? Like, why does she always feel like she needs to buy like a Miata? Like, what is it about that? Like, what is it about the convertible? Like, what is it about like the sportiness of it? Is that all it is? Because she just tells me, oh yeah, I just like the car. But I'm thinking, I bet there's more to it. Is it that you want to be seen as like a super sporty person who likes super sporty cars? She's not very sporty. Or do you think that it like gives you more cool factor to be driving around in a car like that? Or is it that she thinks that there's some amount of like success that emanates from having a car that you really just kind of drive on the weekend, like a sporty fun car? Because during the week she drives like a regular sedan. I don't know. But the more I think about it, the more I wonder, I question like the real motivations behind those car purchases. So in the same way, when we see a character doing something in a book, we can't just say, okay, just take it at face value. Like, oh yeah, she likes sporty cars. Like, there's probably more to it than that. So that's what we're going to be investigating today. I'm going to think again about our character Squeaky. So we did some character work with her yesterday, and we took an example from me. My example was from the beginning of the story of Raymond's Run. And if you remember, I was kind of caught up in that scene in the second paragraph where she sounds very aggressive and she's like, yeah, if anybody wants to come by my brother, they have to like come through me. And like, I'd much rather fight you than let things go. And I was like, that's weird. This sounds like kind of surprising for a young girl to be saying and thinking these things. So I stopped and I came up with 3 different ways to interpret that piece of the story. Hopefully that rings a bell. So now what I need to do is go a little bit deeper. I'm going to think more about her relationship with Raymond and what motivates her to act that way. Why is she acting that way? So I began to think about it, and you know, for me personally, I just kind of have to sit and absorb like the entire story, maybe read it again all the way through, and then kind of just like start writing down some thoughts. So just to kind of give you an idea of the mindset that I was in, I jotted down some notes here. I was thinking, well, she clearly wants people to stop making fun of her brother, right? We know that her brother has special needs. Um, that means that he's probably getting some unwanted attention, and obviously, as so I was going to say the older sister, but she's actually the younger sister. As his sister, she doesn't like that. She wants to win at everything. I know that she's really into running. I feel like she's constantly saying that she's the best, that she's always going to beat everybody. She's going to win all the races. She like brags a lot about it. So I feel like she's very showy. I feel like she likes to win. She likes to beat other people. Okay, so I'm still trying to process, trying to get to her motivations, right? Why does she say and do these things? Yes, thank you, Miss Chang, for my super cute clipboard. I also wrote down that she acts tough, but I feel like she really, really loves Raymond. Remember that part where they were walking down the street? She was walking down the street with her brother, and she made a point to put her brother on the safe side of the street and was kind of like in a protected spot as they were walking. And she was really mindful of the other people on the sidewalk and very like ready and willing to fight them if need be, right? So I feel like she loves him very much. And this is kind of leading to this maybe overprotective, like guard dog mentality that she's having. This toughness. I feel like I'm wondering, is she this tough because maybe she has had to put up a really tough exterior so that other people haven't been able to attack her? Maybe she's been picked on. I know that she's skinny and little. I'm not sure about her background, but it can't be easy having an older brother with special needs. So maybe this is just a really aggressive exterior that she's put up for herself, and she's now kind of putting that shield up in front of Raymond too. So if she has this super protective shield up, I'm wondering if she's actually not getting very close to people, and that makes her quite lonely, maybe on the inside. Maybe she's not able to connect with others. So that's kind of where I'm landing. That's kind of where my mind is at. I began to take these thoughts and put them into writing. And that's what you guys will be doing today. Not with Raymond's Run, but with a different piece. So first of all, let me show you what I started to write in my example. I said, Squeaky seems tough and angry, wanting to knock people down. But even though she seems tough, what shines through is how much she loves her brother Raymond. He is disabled in some way, I'm not exactly sure how, and having him tag along could make other people crazy. However, Squeaky wants to stay near him so that she can look out for him. They go everywhere together. If people tease her brother or treat him badly, Squeaky gets mad. She knows she's different and that he can't protect himself. And then I stopped there and I thought, protect. And I put that again in capital letters because I thought this could actually be maybe the biggest motivation, is that she wants to protect her brother. So I'll pick it up from here. Excuse all the typos. I'll just check it later and edit it afterwards. But continue my train of thought. I think that maybe she wants to protect him because she has also experienced attacks, bullying, people making her feel inferior. I'm not sure, but I do know that she has a difficult relationship with a couple of the girls in the story. It seems like they gang up on her, and that can't feel good. I'm wondering if Squeaky wants to make sure that Raymond doesn't feel the kind of hurt that she has felt in these bullying situations. Again, this is, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back to the text and see if I can really back this up, but this is the impression that I'm getting. I'm also wondering if perhaps deep down, pushing people away in order to protect herself has really created serious feelings of isolation and loneliness. And so I'm going to stop right there for now. I'm kind of landing at a place where I feel like her motivation, the thing that's driving her to act this way and be this way, is wanting to protect, and maybe deep down it's serious feelings of loneliness. And maybe she wants to keep her brother from experiencing the pain and the loneliness that she's been feeling. Again, just a theory. I need evidence eventually to back this up, but this is just me taking a stab at it. For your assignment, you'll be doing the same thing, but you'll be writing one page, double-spaced, just kind of letting your mind go. Using evidence from the text, you do not have to put in any quotes, but don't come up with complete fabrications. It has to be kind of founded in something. You know how I was saying how the girls in the story, I know she kind of has a difficult relationship with them, and I feel like they're a little team, a little group, and they kind of like gang up on her, and that can't feel good. And I'm wondering if that feeling that she's getting from that is something that she wants to protect Raymond from, right? So I'm pulling on actual evidence. What you guys will do for this session 3 is actually now venture off into your own stories. I have a few choices for you, and I'll let you know what those are. So, your first choice is the short story called Thank You, Ma'am. Your second choice is called The Gift of the Magi. And your third choice is called Your Move. And all of these stories I think are really fascinating and interesting. And there's so much more than what's on the surface. All of them have really complex characters that are experiencing difficult things. So you want to select a story that you are invested in, that you enjoy, that you could spend a few weeks on, because this is the story that you'll be doing your literary essay on. So I've got 38 students, and they're working on one of 3 stories. Contrast this to The Giver, where we were all reading the same book and we all did an essay on the book versus the film, and it was all very similar. Now, we're nearing the end of the year, and I want you to be more independent. So I'm giving you choices, and I'm guiding you, and I'm helping you, and I've clearly read them all. But it's going to be up to you to really follow the path that I'm leading you down on your own. Okay. So after you've selected your story, and by the way, you're going to be able to definitely read all 3 and make your choice. You don't just have to look at the title and make a decision. They're all going to be on Google Classroom for you. Then you're going to write down 3 ideas that you feel the author is trying to convey about the main character. This is just like back in session 2, where we took a piece about Squeaky from the beginning of the story, and I came up with 3 different interpretations for why she was acting so tough. You're going to come up with 3 different ideas for why your character is the way he or she is. And it's very brief, right? You're just using, I can show you, you're just using those thought prompts. These right here. Maybe the author included this because, on the other hand, perhaps, or it could be that, right? Just 3 different ideas about why that's happening. And then you're going to do what I just did and write 1 page, double-spaced, that kind of expands on the ideas that you're having. So I hope that makes sense. That was a lot of information. When you are ready, you're going to head over to Google Classroom, and you go to classwork, head down to writing literary/argument essay, and this will be sitting here for you. The document looks like this, and it really spells out what I just went over. So you're going to choose your story, put the title there, put your main character's name right there, your 3 ideas. This came from session 2. 3 basic ideas, 3 different interpretations about your character. And then our lesson today, what does the character really want? What is the real motivation for acting the way that he or she does? And here we go. This is going to be about 1 page, double space. All right, well, good luck with this assignment, and I hope it all makes sense. I'm really looking forward to hearing your interpretations.